One fun thing I want to play. This is what amused me, I should say, last night, this morning when I was traveling back over from Ekaterinburg. This is an interview with a losing manager from yesterday. You'll just switch your brains off for a moment and just say, "Wait, hold on. This is a journalist." So this is a journalist, not the club person. This is a journalist interviewing the manager. After the manager had been in tears a few minutes before. So here we go.
Just finally, I had a text from a Dortmund fan today who just wanted to thank you for what you've given him and his fellow fans here today. And we saw that with the way that they received you. Will you take any consolation out of what you, plural, as a trainer team, have done here in building that connection back to the fans? Because it felt like something still this season.
Yeah, we said it from day one that if we want to compete and if we want to be successful, it's not enough to have 11 players or 26 players in the squad. It's not enough to have 700 or 1,000 employees. We need everybody. We need everybody to stay positive. We need everybody to believe. We need everybody to lift themselves up, even if it's tough. As I mentioned, it feels very unfair today because we've been through so many setbacks this season. But again, this is a test. And again, they're going to test us, and they're going to try to see how much we can take. And so we have to lift ourselves up. We have to get the energy back, and then we're going to try a new attempt from the beginning of July, and then we have to improve. But we've been on a really great way the recent months with a good year 2023. We are on a good way, but unfortunately today without a happy end. So we have to fight for the next season, and hopefully next season we're going to have a happy end.
Every time I've had you here, mate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. We will see you next season. Edin Terzic, all the best. Thank you. Back to UK.
Now, on the list of things that didn't happen, I got a message from a Borussia Dortmund fan to thank you and the whole lot. I was genuinely, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh no, come on, that's just really terrible. Because the whole day had been this like Borussia Dortmund fest. On Twitter, if you followed, it was awful. They were in church singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." It was just, I don't know. Am I wrong in saying that they're like, okay, they're the hipster club of choice because of their, look at me, I'm waving a big banner. Are the fans just pathetic, or is that just me being an old timer? I don't know.
No, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell did he actually ask him. I couldn't make head nor tail of the question.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he asked him, so I don't know how he could answer it.
I think the real problem is Dortmund. Hipster club is definitely the right tag. I think they're a victim of their own success in recruiting young, promoting youth into the first team brilliantly. I mean, look at how well they have not just promoted youth, but promoted foreign youth. They brought over so many English youngsters. What they did with Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham, is still only 19, and yet he's effectively the most in-demand midfielder in the world. Dortmund, the yellow wall is the most incredible stand in world football. Now, when somebody says something is so wonderful all the time, there is a part, I think, of most people that says, well, hang on a minute, let me decide. I'll decide if I think it is wonderful, in my opinion. And it's not Dortmund's fault. They're an incredibly entertaining side to watch. They genuinely are. But, I mean, Archie is actually, he's done a brilliant job to get from absolutely zero onto ESPN. And he goes for this really friendly style of presenting. And I actually do think he does a very good job, generally. I think saying a friend sent a text was just, you didn't need to say that. Just simply say, look, the fans are still here. They're still making great noise. There's no need to go quite that far into the, well, my mate says, your mate says this. That, I don't know. Dortmund, I was assured, and Alan, this won't surprise you, but I was assured before this weekend. I spoke to my Bundesliga friends. I go to them for my contacts. They've worked for years in Bundesliga football, and they said with absolute certainty, don't worry, Bayern are going to win this. Bayern will win. Dortmund will do a Dortmund. Bayern will do a Bayern. The outsiders will say, oh, well, it's just the 11th title in a row. Bayern practically tried everything they could to lose the title. Dortmund, well, I don't think anybody's actually all that surprised, despite how dramatic it looks on paper. And
I mean, you're right. You're right. Like you kind of did the whole goal difference loss and the whole lot at the end of the season. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I met Edin here when he was working here in Moscow. He's a bag carrier in the worst possible sense. I don't think he's a first team coach. I think he does well, but he has good people there with him as well, as in people who know how to get things done. One person I would say to have a look up, because this is interesting. If you look up in his background and even dig into it, it's quite murky, but if you dig into it as well, the head of the athletic department, they're like their main fitness people, the fitness coaches, Shad Forsythe. He wandered into Germany because of a certain gentleman who was their Stuka, as they nicknamed him in England. He was with the German national team. He then was with Arsenal, with Arsenal. For I think he joined maybe 2013, 2014, something like that, as far as I remember. He's a youngish guy. Well, he's my age, but he was young then, older now, obviously. And then he was brought in by Edin Terzic to the Borussia team. A lot of questions around him. He has a real of a sniff of Pep Blinders, and of course Edin as well. So that's kind of a little backside to that.